The best part about losing it all. Did you know that your friend is in a Ziploc bag? Brooklyn is a dump. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review season 13, episode 14 of The Real Housewives with Merce and the Purse of Beverly Hills. So we start the episode off continuing the trip in Spain, and they were on their way to the church, right? But then Crystal, she got car sick. She told the driver if she could pull over. She got out. She wasn't feeling good, right? But then Dorit, she wants to state the obvious in the confessional, and she was like, I don't know, something's going on with Crystal. Her veins are popping out, her hands are swollen. Something bad could be going on with Crystal. And I'm like, yes, Dorit, we established this last week, the last 5 minutes of the episode, that yes, something is going on with Crystal, but thank you for, pointing out the obvious. So then Dr. Anne-Marie jumps in to try to help Crystal, but then in the confessional, she makes a slick comment by saying, it's so ironic that Crystal was just questioning my profession, yet now I'm helping her. And I mean, first of all, she wasn't questioning anything. It's just you're putting the rumors out there that you're a doctor when that's really not your title. So, and second of all, you make it seem as if you're doing some type of crazy surgery on her. Like, yeah, it's appreciated that you're telling her like, oh, your blood pressure is good, just breathe, that's it. But I mean, anybody could do that, I guess. But you see, and that right there, if I was Crystal, part of me would have been like, Anne-Marie, I appreciate that we could put our differences to the side and you're helping me out in my time of need. But then the other side of me, the petty side of me, would have been like, thank you, Anne-Marie. No, thank you. No, I don't need your help. I'm good. No, I just need some water. I'm good. No, I'm good. Production, can you get me to an actual doctor, please? Like, no, I don't need your petty sympathy. But then production, they come over, they tell Crystal, we're going to take you away to make you feel better. That's that. Everybody else, we still need to film the rest of the season. So let's get going, ladies. We need to film a scene. Chop, chop. So everyone else eventually makes it to the church. And I'm surprised that the church didn't close the doors on Erika as soon as she tried to walk in and told her, did you pay for the widows and orphans yet? Then you could come in. But until then, you need to stay out. But they go in there, Dorit, she's like, I'm Jewish. I cannot light a candle, but the church is beautiful. It's very chic, but I can stand around it, so I'm going to go outside. So her and Anne-Marie, they're outside. We see Kyle and Sutton. They're having a very sweet and touching moment. Sutton, she's emotional. She's crying over her father. She's praying over him, and she's like, I had a dream about him, and, he told me that he was tired and that he's at peace now. Kyle, she says, well, I actually went to a psychic. And I'm like, Alison Dubois? I was just waiting for her to say, I went to a psychic 10 years ago and, she told me that I'm never going to be emotionally fulfilled. But no, that wasn't the conversation that we had. She said, I went to a psychic recently and she told me about Lorraine, her best friend that passed away. And, she told me that Lorraine doesn't know what happened to her. And it's just such an eerie like thing to live with, because then you wonder, you have all these questions that you're never going to get an answer to. Even Sutton tells her, you're never going to get answers to that or that situation itself or what happened to her. And you just have to live with it. And, it's okay. She's at peace now. And that's all that matters. But still very, very, very sad. And it's, as sad as both situations are, at least they could come together and bond over that, right? And Sutton, she tells her, I'm really, really sorry. I'm sorry for being a bad friend to you. I do love you. I was waiting for Kyle to say the same thing. Like, I'm so sorry for our history, what's been going on with us the past 2 years, the past couple of weeks. But no, of course, with Kyle, even in a church, it's just a one-way thing. And she's never going to take accountability, right? And then Erika, she was just like, I'm still upset with everybody that I won this lawsuit, at least for now. This appeal, the appeal is on my side for once with the earrings. But, I'm upset with everybody that nobody's giving me a good reaction. And, Erika, again, like I said last week, if I was you, I would stop talking about those earrings. You got away with it. You're not in jail. You're not in the same situation as Tom. Let it go before they start digging something else up in your closet that you don't want to come out. So they get back in the van to go to their next destination. And on their way there, Crystal, she calls Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie was much better than me because the second that I would have saw Crystal, she called me a bitch the other day. No. Anyways, I'm so excited about Barcelona. No, I'm kidding. But Anne-Marie, she picks up. She's at the hospital, but she's feeling better now that she has medication. So she'll reunite with them later on in the house. Everyone else, they all get to Pueblo Español. And they're greeted by their tour guide who's singing in Spanish. He's playing the guitar. He sounded good, right? Then we see Miss International, Dorit. She gets out the van and she starts speaking in Spanish to him. And she's like, oh, me gusta esta canción, papi. Me gusta. I love this, my baby. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo es tu nombre? And he's like, oh, mi nombre es Milano. Here goes Dorit. Oh, como LeBlanc? I'll give Dorit 2 points for that. That was a quick joke. That was funny, Dorit. He guides them to an outside restaurant, so they start ordering food and drinks, and Garcelle, she gets a vodka pineapple. Garcelle, we see each other because that's my second choice of drink, with the first one being vodka orange juice, so good taste. Then we see Miss International number 2. Kyle, she tells the waiter, ¿Me puede dar lo mismo, por favor? ¿Y me puede dar un plato de arroz? Quiero 3, por favor. Ella quiere lo mismo. Gracias. And I'm like, Kyle, I did not know you were bilingual. Lingual. I said bilingual, for any of you thinking about Morgan. But I did not know you were bisexual. Lingual. I did not know that. So Dr. Anne Marie gets a phone call from her husband and she's like, hey, daddy, how are you? So everyone's looking at her like, wait, you call your husband daddy? And she's like, yeah, why not? No, especially after what you just told us a couple of episodes ago that he calls you an 8 out of 10. I'm not calling you daddy. I'm calling you Marcellus, and that's that. So then Erika was like, lately I've been calling a couple of men daddies myself. So, I don't blame her. And I bet you have, Erika. That's probably how you won the appeal against those earrings, but... Okay, so then Garcelle, she caught me off guard because she's like, well, I just want to say that me and Dorit had a conversation about what she said to me on Taco Tuesday night and how it made me feel. And I was so caught off guard as to why she was bringing this up now because, her and Dorit had this conversation that didn't go anywhere. So, I'm not about to explain it again for the 100th time to this group or to Dorit about my feelings when you're just not going to get it. And Dorit still didn't get it because Dorit was just like, I didn't mean to say what I said. I didn't say it intentionally out of race, even though Erika had to jump in and try to, help her out with her words. And Garcelle was just like, yeah, but what you said to me, you don't know my walks of life and what those words mean to me specifically. Dorit, she was trying to be understanding, but then again, just like before, that's why I said that this whole conversation was pointless, because she makes it about herself and she's like, well, you know what, Garcelle, I just want to let you know that my father, he was Israeli. And I'm like, yeah, no, let's stop this conversation. Let's put it in the past already, because again, you're just not going to get it. Instead of just listening, I get that she's trying to be relatable, but no, you can't be relatable. Just listen. But that's her biggest issue, that she just cannot listen. So eventually they came to some type of conclusion. I thought it was BS. They hugged, and Dorit in the confessional was like, as long as I know what triggers Garcelle and she lets me know, which that right there, she doesn't have to let you know anything, but all right, she's like, if anything, you need to be more aware. But of course, she wants somebody else to do the work for her, right? And this moment could have meant something and they genuinely could have moved forward. But then I have to remember what Dorit posted on her Instagram as her caption a couple of weeks ago, how she put, in my own bubble. So it's just like, you're very aware of what you're saying, or at least that's what it seems like, and you just don't care. So Sutton tells everyone that her friend who looks just like Chris Bassett is coming over to the house later with his group of friends, and it means a lot to her because he was close to Merce, who Merce is at home taking a quick nap in his Ziploc bag, right? So she tells everyone, we're gonna go shopping for 5 minutes, and that's it. We have to head home. So they get to the store, they take out their credit cards, and they start buying up the whole entire store. If it was me, I would have walked in and I would have asked, where's the clearance section or the buy one, get one free? And Dorit, I feel like Dorit, like I said before, Dorit does not have the same budget that she used to have, because the old Dorit probably would have just walked in like, okay, I'll just buy everything and that's it, put it on my tab. The new Dorit that we have now, she's probably looking at everybody like, oh, wow. Wow, look at Garcelle. Wow, look at Erika. Look at Kyle. Wow, okay. And as soon as the camera panned over to somebody else, she probably snuck a couple of things in her bra like, wow, this store is so nice. Wow, it's so chic. I can't believe this. Wow. Okay, is everybody ready to go? But it was nice to see them all shopping, and Dorit probably left with a keychain. Everyone gets back home. We see Crystal. She's doing good, but she does tell them that she has high blood pressure. And then in the confessional, she starts crying because she knows that this is an ongoing issue in her family's history. And sometimes it could be fatal, and she can't imagine her family, her kids growing up without her. She's also thankful for Dr. Anne Marie for being there for her and putting their problems to the side. And, it sucks that sometimes it does take something like this, something tragic like this, to move on from your petty issues and try to rebuild your friendship, because she says she's willing to give Anne Marie another chance. Anne Marie, she seems willing. They were hugging each other. So, it was a cute moment between them, right? Then we see Kyle in her room doing her makeup on the floor, on her knees in front of this tiny mirror. And I'm like, what is this, Kyle? Where's your glam team? Like, get up. And she gets a call from Mauricio. And we already know how this goes. She's annoyed. She doesn't want to talk to him. She's looking for any excuse to get off the phone with him. He's over there pretending to do something and blah, blah, blah. But did anybody see what's going on between her and Morgan online? The reunion was a week ago, but as soon as it wrapped, all of a sudden, Kyle and Morgan had deleted any type of evidence from each other's Instagrams, from each other's pictures, whatever that they had of each other. It's all gone. How convenient is that? But regardless, she looks nice in her dress. Erika, she looks nice in her snake print. Garcelle looks nice in her flower dress. Crystal looks good. And Marie, I really like this look with the hair pushed back with the flower, with the red lipstick. Really pretty. So they go outside. They meet Chris Bassett, aka Trevor. He's talking to everyone, but Garcelle, she's not really worried about this conversation. She goes over there to Storm to get her papaya on, right? Because she's like, oh, Storm, how's it going? What are we making tonight? I'm kind of hungry. I'm kind of craving a shish kebab, if you know what I'm saying. And Storm is just like, oh, we're making some papayas. And then all of a sudden we see his father. He comes out and now Garcelle is thirsting even more than what she was last week. She's like, oh, the father's a cutie too. And she's telling Crystal, like, look at him. Wow. Oh, wow. Hey, Storm's dad, what are we making tonight? I'm like, that is crazy, Garcelle. How do you go from the son to the father? Like, that is a 2-for-1 special, right? But then she's like, oh, I wouldn't mind being the stepmom to Storm. And I'm like, oh, Garcelle, go get a bucket like you're drooling. So eventually they sit down, they get the papayas on the table, they start talking. Erika Jane, I'm not sure at this point how many drinks that it has been in her system, because I think she was tipsy, borderline drunk, because she was almost getting sloppy with her words and everything, because as Chris Bassett, he's just talking and giving the history of him and Sutton and their friendship. He's like, yes, Sutton used to live in Brooklyn. Here goes Erika. Oh, Brooklyn, what a dump. I know Sutton wanted to curse her out, like, can you stop? But she wanted to keep it classy in front of all her classy friends or whatever, right? And no, Erika, Brooklyn is not a dump. So as Chris Bassett continues talking, he starts talking about MERS. Erika, again, with the diarrhea of the mouth, she was like, well, I know that MERS means a lot to you, but MERS is sitting inside a Ziploc bag. And it's not what she said, it's how she said it. She said it's so concerning, like, he's inside a Ziploc bag. And then her look after, she was just like, as if she was so disappointed. And like I said, I know Sutton was just clutching her chair like, oh, this bitch is gonna get it as soon as we get up from this table. And Sutton, she explained, she's like, well, he's inside a Ziploc bag because it's similar to a goldfish. You put a goldfish inside a bag, so I put him in a bag, but I mean, he's not a goldfish. He's a human. Well, he was a human. Now he's ashes. So you could at least, especially with all the money that you have, I'm sure that there's a little Ziploc bag that Chanel, Gucci, Prada, somebody sells that you could have put him in so it could look a little fancier. But a Ziploc bag? Whatever. So then they continue talking or whatever. And then I believe, they started talking about MERS. They started talking about their history. This conversation just went on and on and on for too long because they started talking about all of this and this history. And Erika, she knew all of it, surprisingly. And I'm like, so interesting that she knows this and this and this and this because of Tom, but she doesn't know what he was doing behind closed doors with everybody else's money. Interesting, right? So then, and she's like, well, I got MERS right here, and she upgraded him from economy to first class. Now, instead of a Ziploc bag, he's inside this little purse. Here goes Erika. Oh, well, now MERS is in a purse. And Kyle, she's like, oh, I know she probably had too many drinks, but I wonder if Kyle is going to critique her the same way that she did with Sutton earlier this season by saying, oh, she's an alcoholic. She's an alcoholic. Probably not. She's probably going to let Erika off the hook. But the next morning, everybody starts getting ready because Sutton is going to release MERS's ashes into the ocean. Erika Jane, of course, she has a hangover. And out of nowhere, Sutton starts having a whole breakdown. She's emotional. She starts crying. Kyle, she runs in there like, what's going on? Why are you crying? What's happening? And she's like, I can't do this. I can't do this with MERS. I can't because it reminds me of my father. She feels that her father is looking down on her because apparently she was moving a lot too much. And when her dad passed away, she had his ashes, but she lost them. And now her guilt is bothering her that she has MERS's ashes. She took care of these, but not her father's. And now she feels that he's passing judgment on her. Kyle is trying to be a good friend to her by telling her, no, it's not like that. Don't think of it that way. But she also feels that by letting Merce's ashes go, she's also letting go of her father, because when her father passed away, Merce was the first person who called her to be there for her. But now she lost her father, and now she lost one of her close friends. So now she feels that she's going to end up lonely. And then her ex-marriage didn't make this any better either. She also feels that she's letting that go because, obviously that didn't work out. And in that case, Sutton, if anything, he did you a favor, because you wouldn't want to be with somebody in a marriage just because you want to claim that you're not lonely or you want to feel loved, because in the end, you'll probably be miserable with the man. So, if anything, that situation you could let go. But the other two situations with the father and Merce, I really feel for her. I feel for Sutton because she has been going through it these last couple of episodes. She had to relive the trauma with her father at Kyle's event a couple of episodes ago, and now she has to let go of her other friend Merce next episode. And did everybody see the preview to next week when she releases the ashes and they all fly back to the rest of the cast? I was laughing so hard when I saw that. I'm like, oh no, Sutton. But we shall see how that whole thing turns out. But this episode was cute. It was nice to see them having fun in Barcelona and Erika and her reckless mouth at the dinner table. So let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.